Hello, hello. Welcome back to another Facebook live stream. Live stream. And you are so glad that Facebook does not have smell-o-vision because I had a lot of garlic on my salad for lunch today, and it's kind of spicy over here. So welcome back, and if you watched my last Facebook Live, then you know I encouraged you to try really hard to get more sleep. And so I would like to hear from you in the comments. You can give me a thumbs up or give me a comment and let me know how that has been going for you. And True Confessions, I posted that last week, and then I have had the biggest challenge getting to sleep on time. I have been averaging 11 o'clock, midnight. It's been terrible, and so I am a work in progress, and I am recommitting this week to getting back to bed by 10 p.m. So I just encourage you to join me, and again, just leave a comment and let me know how it's been going if you saw the Facebook Live last week and are trying with me to get more sleep. So speaking of last week's Facebook Live, I had a couple of comments that people wanted me to check the comments later instead of during the live stream. So if they're watching the replay, it was more of a smooth interaction or a smooth video, and then I would check the comments later. So I'm going to try that today. And so if you have any questions or you have comments as we're going along, just go ahead, pop them into the comments there, and then I will check them after I finish the video and answer any questions. And that way people who are watching the replay, if they don't want to stick around for comments and questions, they're free to go. And the same for you today here on the live stream. So if you're new here, I am Kimberly, and I blog at thepeacefulmom.com and beautifullife365.com, and I help women to calm the chaos and get organized so they can live a beautiful life with their time, their money, their space, and their relationships. And I have a fun thing going on at thepeacefulmom.com. I have a giveaway with our new October challenge, so if you want to go check that out, you can. I haven't even posted the picture of what will be in the giveaway, but today I went to Target, and I'll show you. To help you get ready for Thanksgiving, these super cute cheese knives. You could use that with a little cheese board, and then these really cute cloth napkins that say thankful, and I've got 4 of those. And then I also found some stationery things, this super cute faux leather bag, and these cute push pins, and some stationery items like these little flags and thank you cards, and people, washi tape, because we all know we need more washi tape, right? And there'll be a gift card, and I'll post details later, but go ahead and sign up for the giveaway, and then in a couple of weeks I will be choosing a winner, and it might be you. So today we are going to chat about some healthy coping strategies when the world is crazy. Now, it may be times like this where our world actually seems like it is crazy with the recent 3 devastating hurricanes in such a short time, a matter of weeks. The incredibly senseless and insane happenings in Las Vegas. And I don't want to go into details in case we have some children listening with moms, but it's just incredibly sad, and I'm just really heartbroken for those people. And it's very easy to be affected by all these things. So I just wanted to hop on and talk a little bit about some coping strategies that I use, and hopefully they'll help you too. And maybe the chaos that is going on in the world isn't affecting you, but you have your own chaos in your own life. And I know in the past few years we have had quite a bit of craziness. We had 3 years ago, actually this October, I was in my living room with my husband on a Sunday evening or late Sunday afternoon, and my neighbor came and knocked on my door, and we opened the door and he said, "Your daughter's been hit by a car." So as you can imagine, we are just in complete shock. We don't know what to do. My husband ran out barefoot, ran down the street. I had the presence of mind to jump in the car. I'm driving down the street in our neighborhood and just praying, "God, just please let her be alive. Just please let her be alive." At that time, it was our oldest daughter, and at that time she was 17 years old. And as I approached the scene, she was lying on the pavement and was not moving. And it turns out that she had been riding her bicycle in the neighborhood, and a minivan that was traveling, we think, between 40 and 45 miles an hour hit her head on. She actually flipped up on the hood and made a huge dent in the hood, cracked their windshield, and was thrown 7 feet from the minivan onto the pavement. Miracle of miracles, she was alive, and the only injuries she had were a broken collarbone and a broken ankle. It was scary, but I was so thankful that she was okay. However, she spent 5 days in the hospital. She had to have surgery. She had to have a metal plate put in her collarbone and a metal plate put in her ankle. And because the injuries were all on one side, she basically could do nothing because she could not put any weight on that side. So she had a wheelchair. I had to help her take care of every personal necessity, and it was just months of trying to help her recover from that. So as you can imagine, that was very stressful. And when we kind of got to the end of that, I guess a few months after, so let me start over. In January, she was mostly recovered and didn't have to use the wheelchair anymore. And just a couple weeks after that, I was driving in our only car, and I was rear-ended by someone traveling about 50 miles an hour, and while I was completely stopped in traffic. So as you might imagine, the car was totaled, and thankfully I was okay, but it was our only vehicle, and it was a crazy time. So I understand what it's like to have personal crises and have problems, and I haven't dealt personally with a shooting incident, but that was in my hometown, the one before this in Orlando, and so I know that those things can really hit close to home. So I wanted to just share with you some things today that I do to help me cope with tragedy and hardship and difficulties in life. And like I mentioned before, I hope that they'll be helpful to you. And as we're going along, just remember, if you have any questions or you have any comments, feel free to put those in to the comments, and I am going to check those when we are done here, or when I'm finished. So the first coping strategy is to turn off the television, turn off the news. I know it can be really addictive and tempting to follow all the news coverage, and you want to know all the stories, and you want to see all the pictures, but it's really not healthy for you emotionally. And I have found that the important news, I'll see it either in my Facebook feed or someone will tell me. And there just really isn't a need to submerge ourselves in all the trauma and the drama that's surrounding what's going on. And I will say that if you can't completely cut yourself off, if you limit the time that you spend and really even set a timer, I think it will help you. And it also is something to think about when you have children. You don't really want them to be exposed to that. And so just be aware of how much you're exposing your children to when you're watching television. So that may not be a popular idea, but I just really encourage you to try that. The second thing is to get support. And the support might come for you through talking to a friend on the phone, or maybe you have a pastor that you can talk to, or maybe you actually need to get counseling. You know, if it's a few days or a few weeks after a tragedy has occurred and you still are having trouble dealing with it, please get counseling. You know, there are phone support centers, there are church counseling centers, there are a lot of avenues that you can take to get some support and have people around you to help you to cope with things when you're experiencing life difficulties. So the third thing is just to honor your emotions and, you know, don't stuff things. I love to journal, and I mentioned in my last video that I do something called morning pages, where I wake up every morning and journal for 3 pages straight, longhand, by hand. The idea originated with Julia Cameron from the book The Artist's Way, and it's just a fabulous way to express your emotions, to get in touch with things that you may not even be aware that you're thinking or feeling. And you can get it all out on paper and then take action where you need to take action. So I encourage you to start that practice, or journal at night if you don't have time in the morning. Or one of my readers left a comment that she realized that after she dropped her son off at school, she had a little bit of time before she started work, and so she was going to use that time to journal or do morning pages. So whatever you need to help yourself deal with those emotions, make sure that you take care of yourself in that way. So the fourth thing is to focus on what you can control. And speaking of taking care of yourself, it's really important, as I mentioned in the last video, make sure you're getting enough sleep. Make sure that you are drinking enough water. Make sure that you are eating nutritious foods. I've just made it a habit to eat a salad every day for lunch, so I know at least once a day I am getting those veggies in and getting some nutrients. And of course, you can take supplements. I know some people use essential oils. Just do the things that you need to do to take care of yourself. And one of those things is getting some exercise. I know some people are like gung-ho super workout people and go to the gym and all of that, but if that's not you, you know, you can take a short walk in the mornings or in the afternoons. And if you're a mom of small kids, that's a great way to get the kids outside anyway. And speaking of that, actually being in nature is a proven way to help you cope with stress and reduce your stress levels. So also in the under the topic of focus on what you can control, you know, love those people around you and help those people around you. And if there are opportunities in your community where you can help those who have been affected by a tragedy, or maybe, I know in my community there are groups that are forming to gather supplies to send to Puerto Rico after the recent hurricane. So just look around for ways that you can help. That will really help you get out of your own head and feel like you're doing something when a lot of things are out of our control. And then the last idea that I have for you, so let me just review really quick. So limit your exposure to news. Then the second thing is to get support, to find people that you can talk with about how you're feeling and how you're coping or not coping. And then honor your emotions, and a great way to do that is journaling. And number 4, focus on what you can control. You know, take care of yourself, take care of your family, and help those around you. And then the 5th thing is to pray. And I know that some of my readers and friends are Christians and some are not believers, and so I just encourage you to pray, or if you meditate, to meditate. And you know, praying for the victims and praying for their families helps. It helps you, and I believe that prayer helps them. I know God answers our prayers. It also is great to pray for yourself, pray for your family. And I just wanted to leave you with a Bible verse that I really like. It's Philippians 4:6-8, and I'm going to read it in 2 different versions, but in the New International Version it says, "Do not be anxious about anything, but in every situation, by prayer and petition with thanksgiving, present your requests to God. And the peace of God, which transcends all understanding, will guard your hearts and your minds in Christ Jesus. Finally, brothers and sisters, whatever is true, whatever is noble, whatever is right, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, whatever is admirable, if anything is excellent or praiseworthy, think about such things. And I really love, that's kind of the version that I grew up with, I guess. But the Message version says it so in such everyday language. So I wanted to read that to you. Don't fret or worry. Instead of worrying, pray. Let petitions and praise shape your worries into prayers, letting God know your concerns. Before you know it, a sense of God's wholeness, everything coming together for good, will come and settle you down. It's wonderful what happens when Christ displaces worry at the center of your life. Summing it all up, friends, I'd say you'll do best by filling your minds and meditating on things true, noble, reputable, authentic, compelling, gracious, the best, not the worst, the beautiful, not the ugly, things to praise, not to curse. So just a little thought to leave you with about focusing, having balance, focusing on some positive things in the midst of the difficulties and the tragedy. And I also wanted to mention that it does take time to go through these things. And even though you may not have been affected directly by the tragedy, you probably are affected emotionally by seeing what happened. And I just want to encourage you to give yourself time. I know with my daughter, we went through that very intense time from October to January. And then in January, the rental truck came to pick up the wheelchair because she did not need it anymore. And I completely lost it because, I had to keep it together for all those months of helping her through her recovery and helping her take care of her daily needs. And just the, pain that she went through was so difficult. But I'm the mom. I had to be strong. And so finally, when she started to be better, to improve, I just lost it. I just fell apart. And I think that's kind of the surprising thing about grief and emotions. They can pop out when you don't expect them. And so it may take you a little while to cope with whatever tragedy or hardship you're dealing with, or even dealing with the latest happenings in Las Vegas. So I hope that you found this helpful, and I just love doing these Facebook Lives. So if you have a topic that you would like for me to talk about, or you have a question you would like for me to answer, or something that you're interested in, I would love it if you would leave a comment and let me know. And thanks for joining me here. And I hope that you have a beautiful day. And remember to check into thepeacefulmom.com for that giveaway and the cute little napkins and the little cheese cutting knives, and then I've got those stationery things and a Target gift card for you. So be sure to leave a comment on that October Focus Goals post, and I hope you have a beautiful day.